All right, so we're going to continue the description of the 4-point draw stroke and transitioning from a target shooting mentality to a tactical shooting mentality. So the first step in that draw stroke is getting a good grip on the gun, making sure that your gun hand, your strong hand, is engaged with the firearm to make sure you can snatch it out of that holster. You're not going to have any issues presenting the firearm for the rest of presumably a gunfight that could be a life or death situation, or even a work situation if you're in law enforcement or a security guard. So you have a good grip on the gun, you have your support hand planted on your chest. First thing you want to do is make a really positive removal of that firearm from the holster. You don't want to play around kind of pulling it or kind of getting it caught on something. You want to at least get it up clear of the holster, and that has to be a really strong move. You don't have to go any higher than that. That's going to be a really important part of it, because if you don't clear it all the way, now you're going to be tangling around with whatever kind of holster you have, whether it's Kydex, leather, maybe some type of ABS, and you want to get it clear of that holster really, really fast. Nothing else is going to move. It's maybe a 4-inch vertical motion. You're not moving anything else. You're not transitioning weight. You're not moving your support hand, certainly. You want to just get it out of that holster. From this point forward, the next step, you can shoot anytime, because the next step is you're just going to rotate. You're going to rotate that firearm. You notice your thumb and your hand is still next to your pectoral muscle. You're not moving the gun out. You're not moving it forward. You're just getting it rotated. At this point, if your threat is close to you, you can fire from here. You don't need to be presented. All of the rest of the moves, your muzzle is going to be traced onto that target or to that threat, whatever it is. Your eyes are going to be focused on it. Your hand is still going to be clear of any type of muzzle discharge. So if you remember, we had our hand planted on our chest. If your hand is out here, you can't shoot at this point because your hand is in the line of fire. If your hand is here, if that threat or that attacker is running at you real fast, at this point you can shoot. The rest of that draw stroke, it's a smooth transition. Your gun is here, and now you're going to come over and meet your support hand. Your gun isn't any farther presented out, but now you have two hands on a firearm, which gives you a little bit more control. Can you still shoot here? Sure you can. You still have control over that firearm. If the attacker's coming at you, you can shoot from here. Obviously, you want to try to get a little bit better aim point and get a sight picture, which you can start doing in the next step. Again, you're pushing that gun straight out at the target. You're not what we call fishing, where you're going like this. You're not what we call bowling, where you're doing an underhand. You're following that sight line directly onto the target, picking up your front and rear sights so it's right on the target. So again, any point during that process, once you get the gun clear, you can shoot anytime. You can shoot here. You can shoot as you're meeting your support hand. You can shoot as you're driving out towards the target, and you can shoot any point in the process. You may want to also consider, depending upon what's happening in that dynamic, moving. If you have an attacker coming at you and he sees where you are, if he averts his eyes at any point, you can actually take a step one way or another during that process to kind of throw off maybe his aim if he's armed at the same time. Any point during this process, you can fire. As soon as you get the gun out and it's rotated, you can shoot and address that threat at any point. We'll talk about the next step in the next video.